So I've just finished reading Baldur's Gate 2 Shadow of Arm by Philip Athens. Again, there's another book that was slaughtered by the critics and the fans of Baldur's Gate. Personally, it's not as good as the first book. The first book I quite enjoyed. This one had moments where it did kind of drag on a little bit, and the ending, I'm not going to ruin it, but the ending to me felt like it was missing something. It didn't grip me. I wanted a bit more, but I also wanted more of an outcome. There is another book after this, the third book, by a different author, so I don't know whether that will carry on the ending of the book 2, I'm unsure. Characters wise, we do finally see characters in this like Minsk, only briefly, which again is crazy. That's Baldur's Gate and the second book with Minsk only in it partially. Spoiler alerts, nothing bad spoiler alerts, but let's just say that he ends up being like a waiter, a barman. It's just, yeah, it's not really feasible. Minsk is such a good character, funny, and he's not really in it. Imoen does join it. We get to see Yoshimo in it. Bodhi is in it. Irenicus obviously has to be in it. The main man is still in it. We've still got Jaheira. And I think that's mainly it. You know, we don't see people like Nadia or Aerie. We don't see Qual or Dehalis or Edwin. You know, people like that. Really cool characters. They're not in this. So, if you haven't played the game yet, read the book first. Because you won't be disappointed. You'll just read the book for what it is. And it's not bad. I mean, the first book, even though it wasn't anything like the game, I enjoyed it. This one, at moments I enjoyed it, but it wasn't as good as the first. So the first book I gave it kind of like a 3 out of 5. The second book is more probably a 2. It's not terrible, it's not great either. So yeah, if you like Baldur's Gate and Forgotten Realms, which I do, I would say get all 3 books and just enjoy them. But this book, it just doesn't go anywhere near the quality of the story of the real game. And obviously the amount of detail in the game, you're not going to fit it inside a book this size. I think the only pages we've got, that's about 240 something. So it's not a great deal. I mean, to fit Baldur's Gate to the game into a book series, it probably could be, I don't know, 3 books. Yeah, 3 books of sort of 600 pages per book. You could probably fit all them into that, quite detailed. Could even make it a 6-book saga probably, if you've done a lot of the extra missions and more character details and their sort of stories. If you look at some of their live stories before they come into the Baldur's Gate world, you know, you can sort of hear. So yeah, I got this for, I think it's like 80p or £1. Not bad really, and it's second hand. The quality's still half decent, and yeah, I still enjoyed it. Not as good as the first book. So we'll see what the further has in store. But yeah, Baldur's Gate. Let's give it a go.